So for me, my preference for a woman was somebody who prioritized duty over herself. And that's what the unicorn part is. I have, in most of my experience with women, is that they do not prioritize duty over their own self-interest.
Conscientiousness.
Oh, yeah.
What is duty?
Yeah.
It would be a level of responsibility that you would move towards over whatever your personal preferences were.
Interesting. And you haven't been able to find women who do that? I feel like that's us.
think you found one.
Other than my wife has always prioritized duty over her own preferences and what it is that she wants. And if we were to really get into it, right, like you might disagree with what I'm saying. But if you want to get into it, I can explain to you and probably reduce for you how likely in your situation you don't really believe in duty or responsibility, but most of your preferences just revolve around your sense of self and what it is that you want.
I wouldn't argue with that. I'm single. But that's not how I function in a relationship.
Well, what are your duties in a relationship?
I guess it would depend on who my man is and what he's expecting. I would really like to get to know him and get to know what are the things that make him happy. But in general, I really like, you were talking about, I really like to cook for my man, like to have him a place that, you know, he likes to come home to, love to be like a space that could lift him up and lighten him if he's going through a hard time, be that person he can talk to and encourage him, rub him down, you know, if he wants breakfast 3 a.m. and we're tired, I'm still going to do those kinds of things. That's what I see. And then I guess if he's got any particular things he wants and it's something that's feasible for me and I love him, I'm going to try to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, what about things that he might want you to do that you don't want to do?
Yeah, we tried everything once.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not talking about sexually.
I'm not either.
Yeah, so out in the world. So let's assume for a second that he tells you that he wants you to stop talking to your mother because
Okay.
it's causing a serious issue inside of your relationship.
Yeah.
And you think that you talking to your mother is not causing a serious relationship or an issue in your relationship. Would you defer to him?
Are we married?
Yeah.
I'm deferring to him. He's my husband.
Okay, always?
It's my husband. I mean, hopefully we're at the place where if I am his wife, we have a common understanding of communication where we respect each other. But yeah, I mean, he's the leader of the house.
Okay, and why do you think he's the leader of the house?
He got the hopefully because he's providing and protecting.
So what if he wasn't
He
providing?
I wouldn't be in that situation, so I can't.
Well, you
participate.
could be where you're with a
I
man who can
won't be in that
provide.
position.
Okay, but hang on, just hear me out.
Okay.
So he's providing for you for a few years, and then he's in a situation where through whatever means he can't provide for you anymore.
Yes.
You would not put yourself in that situation?
No, I mean, I'm already in that. Once I'm married, I
Right.
plan to do what I can do to keep that together.
Yeah, okay, but what if he couldn't provide for you anymore?
Okay.
Would you still stay with him?
I would not be with a man who doesn't have the motivation to pick up. So if, he fell off for a little bit, I'm going to be right there to pick him up in any way, knowing that it's not going to be like that forever, because at the end of the day, I'm hoping to be able to carry children, and I won't be able to do both, provide and carry children.
Yeah, but what if he's maimed and he can't?
He's maimed and he can't. I guess that we'll handle that when it happens.
Yeah, but if he was maimed and he couldn't,
Correct.
would you prioritize him over you?
I mean, I'd be taking care of him. I'd be
Where's he maimed?
Sickness
Is
under
it the
health.
penis?
Yeah, so he's
Is it
maimed in a
penis?
way.
Well, if it's
What I'm
gone
saying is,
out.
what I'm saying is that he's maimed in a way
Oh my
where he
God,
can no
that's
longer
so
provide
jealous.
for you.
Yeah, that's the man. If I love him, like,
my gosh.
obviously I love to the soul, so it wasn't about the physical, which is why he was trying to point out like this. But for me, there's more.
There's more. Okay,
There- yeah.
so you would stay with him even if he couldn't provide for you.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it was a situation where it changed who he was, and I'd mean like. Sometimes people will go through catastrophic events and who they are as a person completely changes. And I feel like there's definitely an amount of time that I would give to help that person. But if it eventually came back to something that would destroy me, I've been in situations where I did let it destroy me. I
Yeah.
hope that I've grown right now to attract someone who wouldn't.
So your greater duty is to yourself.
I guess I depend on the situation.
Well, in this situation, you just
Yeah, I
said your
guess I-
greater duty is to you.
If it was something that was to destroy me, I don't know, because I just told you that I've let it destroy me in the past. So, I mean, I'd like to think that I've grown out of that, but maybe not.
But you just got done saying to me, to be perfectly honest with you,
Yeah.
if I knew that this was something that was going to destroy me,
Correct.
you're going to exit the situation, right?
And I also just stated to you that in the past, when I thought that I might have done that, I still let it destroy me. So I'm hoping that, yes, I would make that choice, but given my past history, that's not something that I would
When
do.
it destroyed you in the past, did you leave the situation?
He got another girl pregnant.
Did you leave the situation?
I mean, it was at that point, the girl's calling me, and I didn't have a choice. That's
Yeah, I'm just asking
Those are
if
the
you
qualifi-
left the situation, though.
I didn't have a choice.
Right, so based on the pattern of
Wait,
when
are you
things
saying
destroy
that so
you,
duty is
when
like your wife would, you leave her, you cheat on her, and she's still going to be like, I'm down?
I'm saying that your wife's greatest priority, as far as her duty goes, is obedience to her husband and taking care of her children and taking care of her family is the priority.
So your point right now is to prove that I would not be duty. I would not have
No,
duty.
it's not. I'm not saying that you wouldn't be dutiful. That's not really what my preference here is. What I'm saying is that the thing I look for is in a woman is somebody who has a greater duty to me than to her.
And I feel
that's why I think it's a unicorn.
I agree. And I think that the way that you know that is by being shown it, not by asking.
I don't know what that means. What do you mean?
I think that was pretty self-explanatory.
Like-
The reason why you know that is because she's shown you that she's dutiful. You're asking me if I would be dutiful. Those are two different things. I can sit there and say one thing or the other, but my actions speak for me.
Okay, that's fair. So, I mean, within the confines of the point, though, I guess I'm just trying to kind of flesh out that that's what I'm after is a woman who prioritizes duty over self. And to me, there's just almost none of them who do that.
I feel like a lot of women I know, that is our biggest problem, is we put you guys before ourselves. And so it's interesting that you say that, and to each their own, but that's what I feel like I've encountered a lot with my dating
How are they
situation.
putting...
I don't know. I think, if you take just divorce statistics and the amount of, like, just cause divorces as opposed to no cause divorces. So just like preference, like this person is not making me happy. The vast majority of divorces are happening by
Because of
women
that.
because they're just not happy anymore.
Lack of
So
commitment.
it's lack of commitment. So it's, I mean, I would say that the evidence suggests otherwise, that most women don't want to be in a relationship because they're not happy. And they would rather prioritize their happiness over the health and growth of their family. So,
And
But
to speak
wouldn't
to
their
his point,
happiness
wait,
contribute to the
to
health
speak
and
to his
happiness
point.
of the family?
Hold on, and to speak to his point, you also said earlier somebody who treats you like a princess. That tells you that's what Andrew was referring to.
What is it? Because I didn't specify what that means. So what do you?
You didn't, and I wanted to ask you what that meant. But that statement in itself, somebody who treats me like a princess,
Yeah.
as opposed to you saying a guy that I want to be a wife for, or
Oh yeah, that was just a short and sweet thing. I didn't get to delve into anything specific. Yeah.
okay, but that's what he's talking about though, with the dutifulness, and then with women talking about themselves. Like that statement is a selfish statement. It's a
The
self-centered
statement is selfish, but it wasn't neglecting. It's like saying like, oh, Black Lives Matter. Me, no other matters. No other things matter. It's like, no, I wasn't stating that I wouldn't treat someone like a king. It's just that I would like someone who also treats me like a princess.
She was making
did
a
I hear-
comparison. Yeah,
Wait,
she
what
was
are we
making
talking
a
about?
comparison. She was making a comparison.
To what?
She said something about Black Lives Matter.
You heard BLM and you perked up.
Yeah.
She was
Oh,
speaking
my!
like-
I thought you were talking about my
Because he's a labia.
nonprofit organization, the
Because he's
Big
a labia
Labia Matters. Speaking of, I think I should share my preferences
Yes.
and standards
That was a good point, by the way.
here. And I've written a bunch of notes because I don't want to forget, because it's a very long and exhaustive list of all the things that I want. So let's see here. First off, let's talk about race. Any race is fine, but slight preference for Asian women and white women. I'm just going to be honest. That's my preference. I don't know if you guys play World of Warcraft. There's like best in slot. Okay, never mind. I probably
When you say
shouldn't go
white
there.
women, you mean white-looking women?
What's
That's a good question.
what's the difference?
Well,
You're
I'm-
talking like Latina,
Well, I'm
like
mixed,
like
and so
Hispanic.
my skin color is black. And
What- how do
obviously
you
I'm a black
identify?
woman, and
How
my
do you
experience is
identify?
I identify as
Your
mixed.
experience as a white woman?
No, my experience is of a black woman, but
Oh.
being raised,
But you're
I was
half.
raised by a white woman,
Okay.
and I also understand that experience and what that is.
Oh.
And so I'm also, because I'm literally half, I'm also a white woman. Like I don't have the experience.
You
and
throwing your
socially
hat
we're
into
not.
the ring here?
I mean, I'm just saying. I know people will come at me with that because I don't have that experience. But
Yeah.
to an extent, I know the experience, but I don't have that in
I
myself.
don't think he cares about the experience.
I would say it's looks.
But I'm saying, so
I'd say
what they
it's
look
looks.
like. Okay,
For
that's what I
primary
was
looks.
curious about.
Don't get me wrong.
He doesn't care about the heritage.
I'll date a black woman. I'll date a Latina woman. I'm just saying, slight preference, ever so slight, very small preference. Petite, fun size, short women. The shorter the better.
What size is that? 5'4"?
That's too
5'4".
tall.
Is that tall?
It's a bit tall for me. I'm
That's tall for you.
her height
Oh, that's
needs
right.
to
You
start
did
with
say you
4.
like little people.
How tall are you?
Little people.
He
6
did say
feet.
that last season. Last
6'1",
show, he did.
6'1"-ish.
Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Were you actually? Are you
what?
serious?
Yeah, he does. He's
I
into it.
prefer the short women.
No, what she just said.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you say?
You said you like little people last season, last session, last
I
whatever.
would. It's not so much that I.
You said you had
would
a-
I get with a
you
dwarf?
said a
Yes.
preference.
I would
There was a
get
preference
with
to
a
it.
dwarf. I'll get with a dwarf.
You have a
If anybody-
preference for that?
A little bit.
It's not.
I think you
It's
said
not that I have a I don't have a preference for dwarves. I'm saying I would date a woman who is a dwarf.
Oh, okay.
But I'll also date a woman who's got appropriate like normal proportions, who's also like 4'5".